Hello everybody, my name is Bao, and today I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to do an interactive science lesson. Let's choose science of global climate change. Yeah, you may never heard about this one, but let's try.
In this part of the lesson, you will learn some of the ways scientists know that global climate change is happening.
Oh, so these are the ones. Okay. Oh, look at this polar bear. Aw. Holy. From 1880 to 2015. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Review.
Weather is a description of temperature, rain, wind, and other conditions over a short period of time. Climate is a description of weather patterns and conditions over a long period of time. Seasons are a pattern of weather changes that repeat each year. The change from one season to the next is not an example of climate change. Weather can change quickly, but changes in climate happen over many years, decades, or even centuries. Global climate change happens when the overall climate of Earth changes over time.
Okay, now this time I will read. Weather is a description of temperature, rain, and wind, and other conditions over a short period of time. Climate is a description of weather patterns and conditions over a long period of time. Seasons are a pattern of weather changes that repeat each year. A change from one season to the next is not an example of climate change. Weather can change quickly, like a few hours or a few minutes. But changes in climate, like temperature, happen over many years, decades, or even centuries. Right. Global climate change happens when the overall climate of Earth changes over time, from hot to cold to from cold to hot.
There are many ways to measure global climate change. Scientists have a record of Earth's average temperature dating back to the year 1880. On this graph, the black line represents the long-term average global air temperature from 1880 to 2016. The dots represent how much warmer or cooler each year was compared to the average. Drag the correct words onto the line, then tap Done.
Oh, there are many ways to measure global climate change. Scientists have a record of Earth's average temperature dating back to the year 1880. On this graph, the black line represents the long-term average global temperature from 1880 to 2016. The dots represent how
Drag the correct words onto the line, then tap Done.
Was compared to the average. Oh, by the year 2000, it was a bit long, but fine. The graph shows the global temperatures mainly when.
Drag the correct words onto the line, then tap Done.
No, it's not.
This graph shows one sign that the global climate is changing. It shows that the overall temperature of Earth got warmer over a long period of time.
Right.
Global temperature data shows that Earth's climate has gotten warmer. This warming has many effects. The ice around the North Pole is called Arctic sea ice. Suppose drawings A and B show how the Arctic looked at the end of the summer in 2 different years. Which drawing do you think shows 1979? Which one shows 2016?
Oh, this
Drag
is
the
easy.
correct answers onto the lines, then tap Done.
This is easy, though. Whoa. In A, it was 1979. And B is 2016. Because if you swap, 2016 were more like in prehistoric time. And 1979 was more crazy. I knew it.
The global air temperature was warmer in 2016 than it was in 1979. More sea ice melts as Earth's climate becomes warmer.
Next. Wow, this is fun though. I've done it a few times.
The amount of sea ice changes throughout the year because of seasonal temperature changes. The Arctic is always cold, but it is less cold in the summer. Some sea ice melts each summer. New sea ice forms again the next winter. Suppose drawings A and B show how the Arctic looked at different times in 2016. Which drawing do you think shows summer? Which one shows winter? Drag the correct words onto the lines, then tap Done.
The Arctic is always cold, but it's less cold in the summer. Some sea ice melts each summer and new sea ice forms again next winter. Okay, this is why things get crazy. Winter here and summer here. What? Because, wait, why is it winter so much? While the summer was a bit much, the winter was heck much. But yeah, that's okay.
At the end of the Arctic summer, the sea ice reaches its minimum annual extent. This is the time of year when the smallest area is covered by sea ice.
Okay.
There is more Arctic sea ice at the end of winter than there is at the end of summer each year. Is this a sign of global climate change? Tap yes or no.
Oh, I mean it's no. Sorry. Yeah.
Seasonal changes are a normal part of climate. The change in the amount of Arctic sea ice from summer to winter is not a sign of global climate change.
Oops, I forgot a bit. Sorry about that.
Scientists have been recording the minimum annual extent of Arctic sea ice each year since 1979. According to the data, sea ice decreased by 60% between 1979 and 2016. Is this a sign of global climate change? Tap yes or no.
Very yes.
This is an example of global climate change because it is an overall change observed over a long period of time.
Yeah, for about a few years. Hold up. Let me take some math. 2016, 19. Oh, so it decreased by 60% for about 3 decades and 7 years. Check.
Sea ice forms on the ocean. A large body of ice that forms on land is called a glacier. Glaciers form over a long period of time when some winter snow does not melt, even in the summer. The snow builds up year after year and becomes ice. Most of the world's glaciers are getting smaller over time. Why is this a sign of global climate change? Drag the correct words onto the lines, then tap Done.
Oh, 1980 to 2000, near the end of the 20th century, glacier in Peru. So it just for about 2 decades, it's an evidence of of a global over a long period of time. Right.
As Earth's climate gets warmer, more snow and ice melt each summer. Many glaciers around the world are melting more than they are growing. They are getting smaller year after year.
So that will be a problem in the future for someone who likes going to skiing or snowboarding, maybe? And the water is going to build up and flood our homes.
Very large glaciers are called ice sheets. There are currently 2 ice sheets on Earth. One is in Greenland, near the North Pole. The other is on the continent of Antarctica at the South Pole. Both of these ice sheets have been shrinking over the years. Why is this a sign of global climate change? Drag the correct words onto the lines, then tap Done.
Here.
As Earth's climate gets warmer, more ice melts during the summer months. The oceans get warmer and more icebergs break off the edges of the Antarctic ice sheet and melt in the ocean.
If this gonna happen, then most of Vietnam have already been flooded, and the river delta will be more like the Red Sea Delta. So in the future,
A large amount of water is stored in the world's glaciers and ice sheets. What happens to the oceans as this ice melts?
Holy!
Drag the correct words onto the line, then tap Done.
I know it. It was going to go up and flood all every coastal country, mostly Vietnam though. So I hope in the future when this does happen, I'm gonna stay here. But it does happen, I'm gonna migrate into something like Laos or something. Maybe.
Water from the melted ice flows into the oceans. When new water is added to the oceans, sea level rises.
What about a few meteors? TMCs.
Scientists have data on Earth's sea level starting in the year 1880. It shows that sea level went up 20 centimeters or 8 inches between 1880 and 2016. New water was added as more and more ice melted. But this was not the only factor that made sea level rise. Ocean surface water has gotten warmer in most places. What happens to water when it gets warmer? Watch the animation.
And it rises.
Drag the correct answer onto the line, then tap Done.
If that was an expert, like kind of me, then it would still warm up, but inside was the habitat, like sea life. And because fishes aren't really adapted to
Drag the correct answer onto the line, then tap Done.
Then they will die. And also coral reefs. So, snorkeling today.
Warmer water takes up more space. When ocean water expands, sea level rises.
Okay.
Sea level is rising because ocean water is expanding and new water is being added from melted ice. As sea level rises, what happens on land?
The wind just
Watch the
decreases.
animation.
The wind just decreases.
Drag the correct answer onto the line, then tap Done.
I see what. Wait, I wrote decrease. Oh, it increases. But how is it increase? I see one as covered by ocean water increase. That's strange.
Land that is near the ocean gets flooded as sea level rises.
I know it. But that's fine.
Global air temperature impacts the surface of Earth and the things that live there. Change the temperature in this scene and find out what happens to the land, ice, water, and air. Think about how this affects living things. Move the red rectangle up to make the air temperature warmer. Move it down to make the air temperature cooler.
I think it's more crazy. Wait, why can't we just go any further? Snow? That's fine. About one more.
Change the air temperature and observe what happens to the land, ice, water, and air. When you're finished, tap the next button.
Okay, the glaciers, the mountain melt, and the boat melts. Okay, so it was okay.
Change the air temperature and observe what happens to the land, ice, water, and air.
Okay.
When you're finished, tap the next button.
Okay, I'm gonna go up for a degree and it starts to rain. No. If I go up another degree,
Change the air temperature and observe what happens to the land, ice, water, and air. When you're finished, tap the next button.
okay. And small rivers form the mountains, and there's some small polar ice caps or something. Oh no, not a polar bear. And a boat. Okay, the water's going crazy. Oh no.
Change the air temperature and observe what happens to the land, ice, water, and air.
What's next? What's next? It's fun, but not so much fun.
What happens in the atmosphere as the temperature becomes warmer? Drag the correct words onto the lines, then tap Done.
It rains more. What kind of change was the most worst?
What happens on Earth's surface as the temperature becomes warmer? Drag the correct words onto the lines, then tap Done.
Smaller. Oh no, not a polar bear in a boat. And now the deck is cold. Sea ice and glaciers became smaller. See what? Higher. I'm wrong for that.
The main signs of global climate change are rising global air temperature, melting sea ice, shrinking glaciers, and rising sea level.
And poor polar bear. And also a boat. Yeah, am I joking?
Examine the graph of global air temperature. During which period was the average annual temperature always above the long-term average? Choose the best answer.
1940. Oops. I'm wrong. 1985. Okay.
Global temperature increased about 1.5 degrees Celsius from 1910 to 2016. Why does this example provide good evidence of global climate change? Choose the best answer.
Hey, what's so wrong? Well, I'm just joking.
If the global temperature continues to rise, which of the following is least likely to happen? Choose the best answer.
Glaciers will get bigger. Okay, this is my first way.
Which example provides the best evidence of global climate change? Choose the best answer.
In the last 50 years, yes. Wait, I thought it was
Which of the following is not a cause of sea level rise? Choose the best answer.
What's rainstorm?
Heavy rain does not add new water to the system. Ocean water evaporates into the atmosphere, falls as rain, and returns to the ocean. Sea level stays the same overall.
And 150 stars. Goodbye.